Oh, I need to adjust my nose plugs. Oh, get them deeper.
کسایی که اینجا گردش میکنن خمانه هست بیاد اینجا خودش چک بکن.
On January 25th, 2021, Heidi continues restoring her rural farmhouse on the YouTube channel Lil Red Heidi Hood, known for homesteading and farm life. That day, she steps into a 150-year-old wood shop, and the farmhouse attic area is left undisturbed for decades. What should feel like normal work gradually becomes uneasy as the aging structures respond with silence, subtle movement, and sounds that don't fully make sense.
In the wood shop with me, you guys, this is an absolute snake den, but I'm trying to find some good pieces of wood. So I'm gonna try to find and salvage a few pieces of wood to build something here in a minute. Stay tuned and see what I can find. Oh, I just know there's a snake under there.
Oh, pay attention to your hand. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah.
Look at that.
Awesome.
Really cool.
Awesome.
That would actually match that other piece.
I was thinking the same thing.
The way they cut it, old mill. The way that's got these lines on there. I don't see another one.
Yeah, I like those thick ones that were up under that. Pull that up and out of the way.
I'm trying. What do you think I'm doing? You think this is a Build-A-Bitch workshop? Which one am I trying to get?
Yeah, what happened to those neat ones I saw under that piece? Right behind that piece that looks like a wood. That looks like real wood.
Yeah. Oh, God. I want my death to be documented.
It's kind of a slow death when a snake bites you. I've been after Heidi for months, so let's get out here and clean out this workshop and separate the wood. It's been cold enough. This is a perfect day to do it.
Oh, God.
What are you doing? Somebody got a muddy ass.
Do I? Thanks, Elo. I ain't even getting paid for this.
Yeah, it'll be rewarding.
No, it won't.
There you go. Boy, that's a big bad boy.
Ooh, that's pretty. Alright. I think I'm done for a minute. Look at this piece. That is gorgeous. The knots are still intact and everything.
Yeah. I want that piece.
You kidding me? Gotta put in the work, sis.
Inside the 150-year-old wood shop, Heidi repeatedly cautions that the area is a snake den. Each step is measured, every piece of wood lifted with care. The tension comes not from what is visible.
What is this supposed to be doing? Just give me some light. Where?
Right there. You might can just do that piece of cement. Oh no.
Oh, look at all those ladybugs.
I know, that's behind the chimney. You can't get to the boards to replace them there.
But from what could be hidden beneath the floor and stacked lumber. Later, Heidi climbs into the farmhouse attic. The space is dark, tight, and covered in bat droppings. Light slips through openings in the roof, exposing decay age and just how vulnerable the structure really is.
The woodshed, it got quite spidery. Saw a couple black widows. The rest of the stuff that's in there is just little rotten. So took a break, and my mom is up on the roof now.
Back in the woodshop, the situation escalates when Heidi confirms the presence of black widow spiders. The cleanup becomes risky. One wrong move here could mean more than just fear. Near the end of the video, the earlier concerns turn real.
You guys, I just heard a snake slithering. I couldn't see it though, it was up under. No, I just saw it slithering up under a bunch of these leaves over here in this corner. And I heard it first, and then I saw the leaves moving, and I threw something over there and it went. So I kind of think we should go in there into that corner. Right over there, like see where I threw that piece right there? That's laying flat. Alright, just be quiet. I'm gonna throw something else and see if we can hear it. You hear it? It's right under there. You hear it? You can't deny that.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to find out where he is.
Well, he could be coming out this way.
Dry leaves suddenly shift. The sound is clear. A snake is moving just below the surface, close concealed and very much alive.
Something's in the wall.
But I'm sure it's a squirrel.
Yeah, it sounds more aggressive than the last one.
As night falls harsh, scratching and loud banging break out from inside the wooden wall. The noise becomes intense and close. Neither Heidi nor her mother can determine what's inside, leaving the moment unresolved. Some viewers point to animals' poor insulation or rodents within the walls, reasonable causes for an old farmhouse. But if it's only animals, why did the sounds feel deliberate? And why did everyone suddenly freeze? On November 15th, 2025, Luke from the YouTube channel Outdoor Boys is left alone along a remote section of Alaska's Bering Sea coastline. Known for survival and wilderness education, the channel documents Luke as he enters extreme environments. This trip carries a harsh objective, locating a dead walrus washed ashore after a storm before bears or the tide reach it. Out here, the isolation feels like a warning.
Look at this. See, there's the fresh grizzly bear tracks, and you can tell that there's layers of old prints underneath that. Grizzly bears like to walk up and down the same trails. I definitely don't want to leave my gear on this trail or I'm going to have bear problems. I got off the grizzly bear trail and I can see another trail going right through here. You can see here the hoof prints. These are all caribou tracks. I've got about 3.5 miles to go down that beach to get to the walrus carcass. Most of my gear right here and hope the bears don't find it before I get back.
While walking the shoreline, Luke spots fresh grizzly bear tracks stamped into the wet sand. They are large, distinct, and recent. This moment feels tense because it confirms the area is active and whatever made them could still be nearby.
That body is going to be a long and disgusting process, so I think I'm going to have myself some lunch before I get started. I'll be honest, it doesn't smell very good where I'm sitting, and once it's going to get much worse. So I brought along some earplugs. It may look ridiculous, but it's worth it. I don't know. This may seem like overkill, but anything that gets rotten walrus on it will not be allowed back into my house. Oh, I need to adjust my nose plugs. Oh, that was bad. That was the worst smell I've ever smelled in my life. Oh. Well, I got through the skin and now I'm just trying to figure out where the walrus's neck is. And where the head ends and the body begins is not exactly obvious. So I'm having to cut away pieces and kind of search around, and it's, I nicked my glove. Gotta make sure my finger's okay. I'm not sure if he even went all the way through the skin. It's really common for walruses to have trichinosis, and I don't want to catch any weird diseases. Well, I spent about an hour cutting. Sit down with the knife and cut off as many bits of flesh as I can. And I don't care how ridiculous these nose plugs look, they're an absolute lifesaver. That is noticeably heavier. But now that I've got my walrus head, I've got to hold on to it. I guess I'm technically trolling for bears at this point. A little break, a little drink, a little snack. Let's do another quarter mile or two. Oh, my back. Oh, but if I keep taking breaks, I think I can save my back. Tell you, this is exhausting, but what a beautiful day to be exhausted. And not being mauled by a bear is just a real cherry on top. I'm really anxious to see if any animals messed with my stuff. Probably gonna be okay. Looks like my gear's all here. Yay, I am tired. Oh, there's a hole in the bag and the walrus head just leaked goo all over the sled. I got maybe an hour before it gets really dark, so I'm gonna try to gather firewood. Tell you what, firewood's a lot lighter than walrus heads.
Further along the beach, Luke discovers the walrus. The enormous carcass is swollen and decomposing. He works beside it, cutting through flesh while enduring the overpowering smell. The scene is unsettling, not only because of the task, but because of the location and exposed coastline where the scent of decay can carry for miles.
The fire doesn't need to be big and scary. It doesn't need to last all night. Sending smoke downwind the same direction as that walrus smell. So any bear that picks up the smell of the walrus will also know there's a human here. Most animals around, I'm I'm seeing the last little bit of the sun disappear over the horizon. All right, guys, I'm going to sleep. I'll see you in the morning. I'm going to bed.
As daylight fades, Luke pulls the severed walrus head toward camp, openly referring to it as trolling for bears. Each step leaves behind a trail of blood and scent, essentially marking his position in known grisly territory as darkness approaches. Night settles over the camp. Luke withdraws into his tent as mosquitoes gather against the mesh drawn by warmth and lingering odor. The beach turns quiet. With predators out of sight and nowhere to escape, he forces himself to rest, knowing sleep is the only way forward. Luke never comes face to face with a bear on camera. But with fresh tracks and a scent trail stretching for miles, the question remains, did nothing follow him, or did something simply choose to stay unseen? On October 13th, 2025, Amy and her team from the YouTube channel Amy's Crypt arrived at the Garnett House in Kansas. The channel is known for long-form paranormal investigations inside locations tied to violent and unsettling histories. This house had served many purposes over the years, leaving behind stories that never fully disappeared.
Jared, I gotta say, this looks ominous AF.
What place do we go to that isn't ominous looking?
Nah, it just gives me Villisca vibes though, and you know how I hate that place. Should we go underground first?
This place has an underground?
Yeah, this is the only place we haven't seen yet.
Oh my god. Oh, why the hell are you making us start down here for?
I don't know, I just said it was open and I was like, let's go.
Are there even any stories down here?
This is part of the Underground Railroad, and apparently people do get activity down here.
A long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. My name's Amy and I'm here with Jared. You haven't been here in a long time, like, you're talking to me, thank you. This is creepy.
This is creepy. This kind of gives me like underground areas in like England sort of vibe.
We're now moving upstairs into the actual house. As soon as you walk in here, you're greeted with like medical memorabilia, medical artifacts. It's an old x-ray machine. This was a doctor's office.
So weird, because I feel like this room should be like the kitchen. There's like sink, microwave.
Come here. What do you smell right there?
Vomit.
Yeah, it's smelly, right?
Yeah, I smell vomit.
That wasn't like that earlier.
Does the smell of vomit normally mean something in the paranormal? I thought it was sulfur.
Could just be residual, like, I don't know.
It's weird because you've got kitchen here, you've got microwave, sink, fridge, and then there's a doctor's x-ray table.
Fits the mood, including the vomit smell. It is a very moody house. I am gonna call out though, so my name is Amy. I'm here tonight with Jared. We call out to anyone in the Garnett House. Love to interact with you tonight. Make a noise for us. Say something on this device in my hand. Was this door like this earlier?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I just tell a story about an experience I had today? We did the interview in that room. I was standing here just listening. I like to stand out of shot when there's an interview going on. And I was drying in front of this mirror right here. And I saw my face change into what looked like a man with no hair and like this black stuff on his face. And it's so weird because Justin, who is the owner of this house and also a fan of Ghost Tips here, was sitting in his car outside and got an image of a man that looked exactly like what I'd seen in the mirror.
Just very...
I want to stay.
You want to stay late? That was like stringing two responses together.
Okay, we're gonna be staying late. Well, what do you call late? We're thinking 3 or 4 a.m.
Why do you want to stay? You want to play? You want to hang out with us? We interviewed Justin, the owner, just here.
Whilst we were interviewing, a ball was bouncing upstairs as well. We caught that, the sound of it on camera at least, and we were all downstairs.
I didn't hear what you said, so yeah.
Jared?
Yeah.
That's a ball.
That is a ball.
I heard it bouncing.
Ball bouncing around. Maybe just. I'm here, ladies.
That was upstairs. It sounded right above us.
Thank you.
Okay.
Up there.
I have a feeling that this is interesting if it is. Oh, I just got goosebumps everywhere. There's a ball I keep in the attic. I was getting ready to tell you about the axe murderer, and that's where the ball was at, was in where he stayed. And then this ball comes bouncing out.
God, no way.
Yeah.
Jared?
I'm here.
That's a ball.
What began as a standard investigation would soon take a more disturbing turn. The investigation starts with Amy and Jared moving through the interior of the house, opening doors and stepping into one room after another. As they explore, they talk about the strange reputation surrounding the location and the unexplained events often reported there. The house feels heavy with history, and the tension builds quietly as they continue deeper inside.
Upon arriving on location for our investigation, Justin had asked Jared if he could help him unload something from his van. It turned out to be an old coffin containing a skeleton. We're not sure what the home's neighbours must have thought about this, but this was just the beginning of how odd our night would become.
Today, I received a call from a lady who wanted to know if I would accept something as a donation. I said, sure, we take a lot of things. She said it's a human skeleton in a coffin, and it was from an Oddfellows organization. This thing is very old. It was the 1800s. It's very likely from a block away is where this building, where this skeleton was found. Very likely that this skeleton person, identified as a young female, has been in this building at some time during its prime.
This is her home now. Is that okay that she's here? That was immediately followed by idiot though, so I don't know who you call an idiot. Ghosts have just been like cussing me out like this whole trip, haven't they?
Maybe they're just a bit,
They're a bit cold towards me.
Yeah, well, you have been cold. It's actually hot as tonight, so that's actually also funny. But I was gonna say, maybe the spirits are just warming up to her, you know, and they're a bit unsure.
Christina, are you here?
What do you think of being in the house?
Maybe.
Maybe she's not sure.
Yeah. I hope you can find your place here. And apparently the mirror right behind her is actually from the original Conjuring house, an original mirror relic.
So weird. I wonder if this mirror or this coffin, I mean any of the objects in this house, whether they've got any attachment. I'm actually getting a burning neck, Ames. Like feels burning when I touch it.
I think you've got a scratch.
Do you wanna?
Yeah, hang on. You hold this. You've definitely got a scratch.
It's burning.
It's a big raised scratch.
I don't have nails, so I pick mine.
It actually looks like a burn. I'm gonna zoom.
It's burning. Whatever it is burning me. It feels burning.
Okay, I'm zoomed right in. Jesus, I can see your pores.
Zoom out.
Okay, but no,
Okay.
for real, hang on. Do you want me to take a photo to show you? Because it's almost shiny like a burn.
Yeah, maybe. It feels
I've cut ghost tube.
like I've burnt myself.
Okay, so... Is that... Can you see that good?
Oh! What the
Yeah.
What the I'm genuinely freaked out because look, I don't have nails. I pick mine. I don't have nails. What the is back in that room?
Is there somebody scratching Jared up, making noises in here? You alright?
Can I just say, so what happened was, it's really hot right now, right? And I felt sweat dripping. So I just went up and went like this, just to get rid of the sweat. And when I went like that, it started burning. And now I've got a scratch there. So I did touch myself. I did touch my neck, but not with nails, just my skin. I just went like that to wipe sweat off.
Yeah, that looks like a legit scratch, like a stereotypical paranormal scratch. I don't know, I haven't seen it on you. I don't know, that's weird.
It's burning though, like it doesn't feel like a scratch.
It looks like
burning.
A burn. Show me one more time.
It feels hot.
Alright.
That is so weird. I definitely haven't scratched myself.
After spending time inside, the situation changes abruptly. Jared suddenly feels a strong sensation on his neck, hot and sharp like a sudden burn. When Amy checks, a large scratch is already visible. The mark appears red, swollen, and clearly fresh-forming without any visible cause. The tone of the investigation shifts immediately. Jared explains that he could not have caused the injury himself. He says he doesn't have fingernails, making it impossible for him to scratch his own neck in that way. The explanation doesn't resolve anything. Instead, it adds to the uncertainty around how the mark appeared. From that moment on, the atmosphere inside the house feels different. The space grows heavier and more oppressive, as if the incident itself acts as a warning. What began as an exploration now feels like an interaction the house is no longer willing to allow. Some viewers think the mark may have a natural explanation, while others focus on its timing and sudden appearance during the investigation. If a location can leave a physical mark without being seen, when does investigating cross into something more dangerous? On October 19th, 2025, Norley, the creator of the YouTube channel Itchy Boots, known for solo motorcycle journeys through remote and politically sensitive regions, rides through the mountains of Afghanistan. What begins as a quiet ride between distant villages gradually changes as isolation replaces familiarity and the road offers fewer ways back.
This is rural Afghanistan for you. A lot of supplies here. Wow. See, the houses are exactly the same color as the mountain that they're built from. I am approaching the next village, which is just hugging the side of the mountain there. Definitely very different feeling to right here than in Kabul. Look, they have a waterway here to reroute the river to the fields. Ah, see here they can regulate how much water is flowing through that channel. See, water levels are also very high here. Salam alaikum.
Salam alaikum. زن الوالدی کان سکین میگیر یک سال یا گردشگر است ها یعنی جایی که میره آزاد است.
Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. خوب هستی بخیری؟
How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
What is your name?
Norali,
Nurali. What is your last name?
schoenmaker.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, I'm going wrong. I should have gone left here. I was distracted by the checkpoint. Sorry, I need to go there. I need to go in here. To ABAC, I need to go this way. Rui Duap. IBAC. Yeah. I need to go IBAC. IBAC. Samandan. This way. Okay. Look at this. Right in between the mountains here. That was Taliban.
Nurali continues riding as the villages disappear behind her. The road becomes narrower, and the sense of isolation slowly settles in. As she moves deeper into the mountains, a checkpoint appears ahead. She slows down, stops, and calmly presents her documents. The exchange is brief and controlled, but it reinforces a clear reality. Here, every journey is watched and every passage is conditional.
This might be the beginning of the climb, I'm thinking now. You can tell that when this gets wet, it's very messy. But I am lucky, it's all dry. See, suddenly all the green is gone and it's just naked mountains. Still climbing? Okay, come on Frankie, you got this. It's not going to be an easy pass. Some donkeys coming. Maybe I'll wait for them, otherwise I'll meet them right in the corner. Salam alaikum. How are you? These are no easy hairpins. Oh, it's steep. Steep. Probably can't tell, but it's steep. I'm so glad I am doing this pass with good weather, because I think with bad weather this will become really dangerous.
Beyond the checkpoint, the road climbs into steep mountain passes. Loose dirt, sharp turns, and exposed drop-offs demand full concentration. Nurali carefully moves the bike forward, aware that this terrain leaves no room for mistakes.
A petrol station here. Well, I don't need to fill up. I'll easily make it on one tank. It also seems to be out of order. It's a tank with a guy with a rocket launcher. It's a bit extreme. It wasn't a tank, but it was some heavy-duty armed vehicle. It's actually the first time that I see like heavier arms. I mean, so far I've just seen Taliban with, what are they, AK-47s. But not with these things.
Deeper in the mountains, the tension reaches its peak. Norley comes across Taliban forces equipped with heavy military vehicles and rocket launchers. The sight is unexpected and unsettling, marking the most extreme show of force she has encountered on this route. Many viewers point out that the real danger isn't just the terrain or the weapons, but the uncertainty of what lies ahead. Was this journey driven more by courage or by how close calm travel came to real danger? On April 29, 2024, a video uploaded to the YouTube channel Becca Y documented an unexpectedly tense night during a truck camping trip in Texas. The channel usually focuses on solo travel road life and quiet outdoor camping with her dog, Sky. But that night played out very differently. While traveling near the Oklahoma-Texas border and heading toward Dallas, Becca began receiving repeated tornado warnings on her phone. Before continuing the trip, she stopped to switch out her Crocs for a new pair just in case she needed to move around during the storm. She then continued driving toward Dallas. What would normally be a 30-minute drive suddenly felt much longer than expected.
I didn't bring my cameras with when I arrived to Dallas after, it was almost an hour-and-a-half drive that was only supposed to be 30 minutes. I lost count of the amount of accidents that I saw because of the flooding on the highways. People were hitting the puddles and then crashing. It wasn't like two cars hitting each other like a normal accident. People were just crashing from big gust of wind and they were just hitting the guardrail. We are in a 3 out of 5 area zone, which means we have a pretty good chance of getting a tornado tonight into tomorrow morning.
Heavy rain covered the highway, making it difficult for vehicles to move safely. Some drivers struggled to maintain control, and accidents began appearing along the road. As the weather worsened, she decided to stop for the night at a Walmart parking lot in Dallas. The wind was already strong, so she chose to remain inside the truck rather than set up the roof tent, even though the space inside was cramped. Inside the vehicle, she tried to keep the night as normal as possible. She cooked a simple meal of steak and asparagus, but the sound of the storm outside made it hard to relax.
Can you guys hear that over the fans? Holy crap. I'm just too nervous to even finish eating dinner. Like, I don't even have an appetite as much as I thought I would. It's 11 o'clock at night. The storm's supposed to get really bad in less than an hour. I'm nervous, so I figured it's almost safer in my front seat. I'm gonna sit in here for a while, just think of a game plan.
Rain pounded against the truck, and every gust of wind reminded her how unstable the weather had become. Later in the night, she decided to move again.
We got some lightning. The rain is slowly starting. So we left Walmart, now we're at Home Depot. And honestly, this is better, view-wise. Oh my goodness, the lightning. It's only 2:30 a.m. right now. We're in the tornado effect area. I just checked on my phone. It's not even raining. I also don't even hear thunder. Isn't that how that works? You can't have lightning without thunder. Oh my god, I'm so tired.
Around 2:30 in the morning, feeling exhausted and mentally drained, she drove to a nearby Home Depot parking lot where she hoped to better see the sky and surrounding area. Not long after arriving, something unexpected happened.
I feel like you guys are screaming at me right now to go to Ryan's house. And I'm actually kind of considering, it would have been different if I went earlier. 11 o'clock probably would have been the latest I would have felt comfortable showing up. But he's probably asleep. We gotta go. This is stupid. Shout out Home Depot. Oh my god! Oh my god. I can't believe I got that on video. The lightning was in front of me, now it's over there.
A sudden lightning strike hit. The flash lit up the road ahead and startled her immediately. Moments later, she noticed something unusual in the sky.
Dude, someone's on a bike right now. Are you good? Why is the sky colored like that? Is that normal?
The clouds carried a strange color that made the storm look even more unsettling. Shortly after that, she passed a cyclist riding through the storm in the early morning darkness. The sight surprised her. It was hard to imagine how someone could be riding a bicycle in weather like that. Eventually, Becca decided the safest option was to drive to a friend's home in Dallas to wait out the storm. During the night, one thunderstrike was so powerful that it shook the ground. The impact was strong enough to trigger nearby car alarms. Even Skye, normally calm during their trips, became visibly frightened by the sound. By early morning, the storm finally began to pass. Many viewers later pointed out that storms in this region can become dangerous very quickly, especially during tornado season. Even experienced travelers can be caught off guard. If you were traveling alone during warnings like this, would you stay parked or keep driving to find shelter? On March 18, 2023, the YouTube channel English Woodsman uploaded a video titled Unwanted Visitor when tent camping in the wild. In this episode, the creator heads into a private woodland in the UK to test a cheap dream tent he recently bought from a clearance bundle. The plan is simple: set up camp, cook dinner, and spend a quiet night alone in the forest. But once darkness settles, in the quiet woodland begins to feel very different. As he unpacks the gear, he quickly notices a problem.
So, it's got a clear rip, and there's the clips what's supposed to keep the tent in place. But the tent isn't too bad. From what I've seen putting it up once anyway, I think this sort of video is the way you should do it. Garden, or if you've got a bit of private woodland to go to, go there, test your equipment. Then if there's something wrong, you're not stuck away from home. So this is the inner of the tent. I'm gonna have to do something about the zip, because the zip is so dry.
The tent bag is torn and some of the clips appear damaged. This raises concerns about the overall reliability of the equipment. He then begins setting up the tent. While assembling the structure, he notices something else.
Inside the tent, and there's something that I've realised what I didn't when I first set the tent up. I've got 1, 2, 3 holes here in the top of the tent, and if it does rain, well, that's the point where it's going to come down. You might be able to see the sky through it a little bit. Yeah, you can see 2 of them here. There, oh, you can see all 3 now there, look. So I am quite happy because I've got a solution how to sort the tent out with them 3 holes in it. Like I said, I've got 2 new pieces of item that I'm going to try tonight. So within the sleeping mat, you get like some patches in case that gets an hole in it. So I'm going to use them, hopefully, to repair the tent.
There are 3 small holes in the roof of the tent. If rain starts later, water could leak through. To solve the problem, he uses repair patches that came with a new sleeping pad. He carefully places the patches over the holes in the fabric. It may not be a perfect fix, but he hopes it will hold through the night. Later, he prepares dinner near the entrance of the tent. For dinner, he cooks salmon first, then makes a simple chicken stir-fry.
Right, so next round of food is a chicken stir-fry. That salmon would nowhere been good enough for me. Now let's give it a bit of colour now, isn't it? Now, I wonder what's going on because there's just been a massive set of helicopters go overhead. Just started to get proper dark now anyway. But yeah, I don't know what's going on there, some sort of army training or something.
As evening turns into night, an unexpected sound breaks the quiet of the forest. A military helicopter passes overhead. The noise echoes through the trees before fading away into the distance. not long after rain begins to fall. Inside the tent, he checks the repair patches on the roof and hopes they will keep the interior dry.
Right, so we're in the tents now. The rain started, and I've got a small problem with them 3 little holes. I have these, and these are from the air mat. I have 2 of them, and I'm going to have to stick them over the holes, so maybe I just have to use 1. It's not ideal, but it's better than it leaking in. We're getting there. That's patch number 1 done. Just need to get the next one. I don't know if it's going to be a long-term fix, but at least for tonight it'll be alright, I think. I'm just going to have a quick look over, see if there's any more that I do need to cover up before I decide to get into my sleeping bag.
Later in the night, he suddenly wakes up to the sound of footsteps outside the tent. Something is clearly moving around the campsite.
Just been walking by something, seemed to be walking around my tent a bit, and it's walked Dan up as well, because Dan's just messaged me. You know the guy lines that you pull out, something I felt, no, not, I don't know, it's just, it woke me up so quick. It's raining as well. Now if I were by myself, I'd be a little bit more nervous, let's say. I get there's wildlife and things like that.
The slow steps circle the area more than once, making it difficult to tell how close it really is. When he shines his light outside, the rain and darkness hide whatever might be there. At one moment, it even feels as if something or someone is standing right beside the thin wall of the tent. After a while, the sounds finally stop, and the forest becomes quiet again. When morning arrives, he checks the campsite and the tent. Because the equipment is damaged and the tent is wet, he decides to pack up earlier than planned. In forests at night, rain and darkness can make small animals sound much larger than they are. Still, when footsteps circle a tent in the dark, it can feel unsettling. So what do you think visited the campsite that night? An animal exploring the area, or something else moving quietly through the woods?